So I got to get G Cobb in here, man, and get his thoughts and his takeaways on that game. That really, you saw the Washington Commanders pretty much kind of game plan. And I don't know, Sam Howell, man, I'll tell you this, G Cobb, if Sam Howell plays just the Eagles on a week-to-week basis, this guy's a $50 million a year guy.
I mean, I was really disappointed the way the defense played. I mean, to let this guy throw for 400 yards against you, I can't really say, I don't know what was happening. Because, see, I'm in Detroit now, just to tell you a little bit. I'm up here, they got Alumni Day up here in Detroit. That's why I'm here. Got the game tonight. So I've been up here, and that's
you make sure you tell Lomas Brown and Spielman hi.
Okay, I will definitely do that. In fact, Lomas tonight is going into the Lions Hall of Fame. Spielman introduced him and everything, so they're up here. So I will definitely give them your regards and everything, and talk to them, let them know that you wanted to reach out to them and everything. But they're all up here, and so they got a game against the Raiders, and trying to rebound for that awful performance they had against the Ravens. So, and the people up here are really excited about the Lions. So we'll see that. But of course, with the Eagles, I mean, the way the defense played, you really have to wonder, and just taking games for granted. I mean, you just cannot do that. And there's an establishment that you have to have with regards to being a professional, where you never, failed to show up ready to play, but it can happen. It can happen. You got young guys assuming that everybody's going to bow down to them. But I kind of expected that the Commanders were going to be ready to play. When I heard Jonathan Allen going off after the game and getting emotional about it, I think what he did is, he put some fire in that team. And I thought they were going to show up ready to play, because, you don't want to get embarrassed. See, when it does get personal. And sometimes coaches will do that, where they will get on guys to where they make it personal. And if you have any self-respect, you're going to show up ready to perform. And I thought that's what Washington did. And, the Eagles were fortunate to get out of there with the W, because
Garry, I'm going to say this to you about Nakobe Dean. That guy's a liability in pass defense. He made some good fits when it came to the run, but
yeah,
someone goes like this to me, he made 11 tackles. I'm like, yeah, well, when someone tells me you gave up 500 yards of total offense at 31 points and you had 11 tackles, I'm not sure that I'm going to be crowning you game balls or anything.
That's
because
right.
They targeted him. And get this, Morrow and Cunningham actually are outplaying him. It just seems that they really are steadfast in getting him in there. Is that a mistake?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And, I was talking about how, somebody had asked me, in fact, on Fox, they had asked me, on the show we're doing in Philadelphia, about, what is the biggest surprise of the season? I said the biggest surprise to me is the play of the linebackers. And I'm talking about Moreau, and Cunningham, the way they have played, and they've done a great job. And, Kobe's a great kid and everything, but I don't see how you can put him back in there with the way they played. There was no liability in there. So, you give up all those type of points and yards, and, I'm sorry. Grab a seat over there on the oak.
Absolutely there. Tell me this. When you watch, the Eagles I keep hearing this, Garry, that the Eagles are they got the best O-line in football. Then why in the last 3 weeks have they not rushed for 100 yards? They got high turnovers.
Yeah.
They're throwing the ball 10 times more. They're kind of almost, it seems, and I'll say this.
Yeah.
Who intimidated you more, last year's offensive approach with their balance, or this year's offense? And to me, it was last year's 22 team, because there was more balance. This year, it just seems one-dimensional.
Well, and the thing is, that's why I was saying that I thought something I would like to see addressed is to get somebody they're handing the ball off to who's a little bigger. As good as Swift has been, I could see that he is not going to be a guy that's pounding and pounding. he's just not that kind of back. He's the kind of back where he's going to run some, but you want to get it to him out in space. With a pass play, a screen, that sort of thing.
Even Detroit moved off him.
That's right. I mean, and I thought it was, he's a guy who is, he's not a pounder. Come on, you cannot ever think that he is. And if he's running inside, and I saw, where one of the safeties came up a couple games ago, and I could see him turn a little bit like that, where he is not the guy that's going to line up and pound a safety the way a physical back is going to do. So I would, the whole thing was Rashad Penny. I don't know what the situation with him. They just don't like something about him. He doesn't play, but they need a physical back.
What's the love affair, though, Garry, with Kenny Gainwell?
What's that?
What's the love affair with Kenny Gainwell?
I don't know. Come on, he's not running over anybody. Come on, who's kidding who? He does get up in there, and I think the thing last year was they liked him because he does hit it up in there compared to the guy they had last year, Miles
Sanders.
Miles Sanders took everything outside. They did not like that. Gainwell would take it up, but he's too small to be a physical back. He's a little guy, and he is. I mean, he's building everything. But come on, the guy's 5'6", whatever. He's a little bitty guy. And in the NFL, he's nothing. Come on. Guys don't think anything of him running into him. And so they don't have a physical back, which I think if they had that, where they're getting physical with people, then that's what that line is designed to block for. Somebody's going to get physical, meaning like we're going to always get you where you can dig in there and get 4 yards, a physical back. But the little guys they have, they just really don't fit that style. They don't have a back who's really a physical back who people even think anything of when it comes to his physicality.
How about this too, Garry? The corner play. I mean, when you look at if I'm Dallas and I'm Dan Quinn, the DC, man, I'm doing this. Yeah. If Dean's in the game, I'm targeting him. Yes. If I'm Mike McCarthy, I'm playing pitch and catch, and I'm putting CD in the slot. Yeah. And I'm going to let him run there. And to me, I mean, why are you still playing 10 yards off the ball? You play 10 yards off the ball like that with Dak, who's 8-3 against the Eagles, he'll throw for 500 yards on you. I
agree. I mean, they got to get up on, I don't know. I can't say. I mean, I was just so disappointed in the outing by the defense, that they just didn't look like they were ready to play. Like they're going to play, a practice game or something, they were not ready to play, man. I mean, and you can't anticipate and say, well, this other team isn't going to be ready to play. Come on. You got to show up ready to play every week. And they were not ready to play emotionally.
Blankenship too.
Yeah, that's right. All of them. That whole group. I can't. I don't know what's going on to where you show up and you play that poorly. Now they've got some receivers with some talent, but you got the kid back there. Come on, you got a young quarterback who's still learning the game. You can't let him throw for 400 yards against you like that.
Thurston Howell III threw for 400 yards versus you in your secondary. I'll tell you this too: the loss of Jalen Carter was totally felt, and I thought maybe the injury to Davis as well. Mm-hmm. You really saw when they were out there with Fletcher, who's still coming off, I guess, the back spasms, and Milton Williams is hurt a little bit because he went in and out. Boy, I'll tell you something, man. It was really, it really showed that those two guys weren't out there.
Without a doubt. I mean, they were really the key to what had me excited about the defense. The way those two were playing, Davis and Carter. But with them banged up, you just don't have the same football team. And really without them really kind of exposed our secondary. That if you're not putting pressure on that quarterback, these guys, I mean, they were awful in the first game against Washington. What is it that they have against Washington? I mean, they got some good receivers, but I mean, they're not the greatest to ever play the game. But the two games they played against Washington this year, both of them were garbage. And they scored at least 30-some points against them in both of those games.
I'm trying to think, Garry, of that pass rusher that you play. Is it Mike Coffey? that you played with? Who was the end that played with you, the outside linebacker that rushed the passer when you were in Detroit?
Oh, when I was in Kofor, Mike Kofor.
Kofor, Mike Kofor.
Yeah.
And now, hey, I get this stuff about Micah Parsons all the time about how he's LT.
Yeah.
He's not Mike Kofor. Okay, I mean, dude, Mike was a very underrated football player. He was good, man.
Yeah, he was. The kid was an athlete. He was very good. And he played the run and the pass. See, that's the thing is he was smart, and he played hard and run all day. Man, that kid could run all day, man. He'd get out and just run. When we would come in for after the offseason, you come into let's say summer training, and we had to run the 12-minute run or whatever.
Yeah,
man, you didn't want to be anywhere near him when he do that 12-minute run, man. Because he's gonna make you feel like you're in no kind of shape.
This guy's getting it done in 9 minutes.
He can run all day, man.
Hey, Garry, for you, I know that you have a lot of you love the fact that you're an Eagle, but the Lions gave you your start.
Yeah.
And you were not, for whatever reason, I don't know what happened. Oh, by the way.
I hear you.
Okay. I knew we were getting you. So I got a little Stanford Black Knights on here today. They sent it to me. They sent me some gear.
Okay.
And I said, here's some Garry Cobb, Stanford Black Knights. The actual Black Knights head coach sent me this. So I said, I get Cobb on. He goes, here, show him this.
Okay.
So from wherever it was and why you didn't get drafted higher out of USC to go to the Lions, but they did give you your opportunity and you became a 10+ year vet. I mean, that's got to hold something dear to you, being able to say that, Detroit gave you your start.
Well, it did. And, and I was proud of what we did in Detroit. We had good defense. I mean, we had, Bubba Baker was here. I've seen all of them. I don't see them all the time. So getting the same, Doug English, Al Baker and those guys, we had some good defenses, and we went to the playoffs. And the thing is, we were playing the 49ers in the playoffs, 1983. We got to, I'm the right up back. We got to kick a 39-yard field goal, and San Francisco's going home. We got them beat in the playoffs out there. Unfortunately, we had a great kicker too, Eddie Murray, who was a Pro Bowl kicker, but he was wide to the right, man. Wide to the right, but we had them beat out there. But we had a good team, and we played defense, and we had Billy Sims. See, and
Billy Sims was the original 20, and if he doesn't blow his knee out,
that's right.
I'd like to have seen what he could have done. I got to tell you a Bubba Baker story.
Okay.
So you know who Pizzulli is. He's another Stanford kid, right?
That's right.
All right. So Baker goes and plays in Cleveland. I've told some of these guys this story.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready to play. It was the drive game against Denver. It's the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. And Schottenheimer comes in the room. Oh, my God. This is going to be the greatest game. He just starts bawling. The tears are coming out of his eyes. He's giving the passionate speech. Hey, I'm your general, and I'm going to go and lead you into battle.
Yeah.
Bubba Baker looks over at Pizzulli and goes like this. He goes like this. He goes, damn, dude. I don't know about you, but I want my general crying going into battle. Does that sound like Bubba?
That's Bubba. That's Bubba, man. He was back there just last night with the jokes. He never stops, man. But he's always been a lot of fun, and the dude could rush the passer.
Oh man, you know what? If you look at the unofficial stats, they updated all the sack guys. And they gave guys sacks from 1960.
Yeah.
Bubba Baker's in the top 20, along with Corey Bacon, that guy from Cincinnati.
Is that so?
They moved. Oh, yeah. When they gave him all of his stats, they put him in the top 20 of all-time sack leaders.
Is that right? I'm going to talk to him about it tonight. We, of course, got the game, but I'll be over there sitting next to him, and we'll be talking and stuff and having some good laughs and everything. But I will let him know that. But he deservedly, man. The guy. But I tell you, what he used to tell me? Cobb, you can have all my tackles, okay? He said, whatever tackles I make today, I'm going to give them to you. Because 1,000 tackles equal 1 sack. He was got to get to the quarterback, and that's it, man.
Look at yeah,
Hey,
repping Cobb today.
That's it. Hey, sounds good.
Garry Cobb, the legendary Stanford Black Knight, right
That's
there,
it.
baby. G Cobb, have a great time tonight.
All right.
Make sure you tell Lomas and Spielman I said hi. Hey, I bet you Benny Blades is probably there.
You know he is. Yeah,
make sure you tell him too. I know a lot of them dudes, man.
I will do that.
Kevin Glover and all them guys. Hey,
Kevin Glover's here. You know, because me and Glover were talking. Because see, I wore 53. He came here and took 53. So I told him, hey, he's a 53 guy. You my man.
Now, did he have to pay you for it?
No, because I was going. I was headed to Philadelphia. See, I got traded. Had to go there and make some money.
Garry, thank you so much. Enjoy yourself tonight, my friend.
All right, have a good one.
You got it. G Cobb in Motown tonight for the Lions and Raiders, giving us his spin from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. Love G Cobb. G Cobb was a legend in Stamford, Connecticut. I was like, I've told you guys this before. By the way, do you know who his brother is? Hey, Tone, Google this. Ernie Cobb. Do you guys know who Ernie Cobb is? He also went, this ain't my high school, Stanford High. I went to Stanford Catholic. Okay. Do you guys know who Ernie Cobb is? Do any of you know who Ernie Cobb is? He is, no. He's not related to Ty Cobb. Yes. Boston College point guard. And point shaving thing. That's right. He was one of the players that was accused of point shaving in the BC point shaving scandal with Henry Hill. It was featured in Goodfellas. Yep. All-time leading scorer when he left Stanford High, and then he went to BC and got caught up in that. That's Cobb's brother. I think he's a school teacher now in Arizona, in Phoenix. Yes, sir. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to look at Week 8 of the National Football League. We'll revisit a little bit of the Commander game. Hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Football and Hooters, the